It's time for your daily crypto update with Framework Fortune Crypto. I'm your host Ben. Now let's dive in. So Bitcoin got a nice test of that 50,000, even broke over to 50 and a half before pulling back like we were expecting. Didn't think it was going to break on this first attempt, but it was a good first attempt. Sold back off so far. Got down to a little under 49, but you can see where it's trying to build some support at that 49,000 area. That was resistance back here, but where the candle currently is, if it could push back up just a little bit, that would be a confirmation of this support. And that's what we'd want to see, is for Bitcoin to hold up 49,000 and then later tonight come back up and test 50,000 again. If it can't hold this area, then it's going to drop back down to 48. Right across the tops of these candles, this old resistance will become new support, and the 50-day is right there below that as well. So it's going to be a waiting game here at the $50,000 area, just like it was at the $45,000 area that took a while to break. Ethereum did break over the 3,300, got all the way almost to 34, but pulled back just like Bitcoin. The 10-day is right there at the channel and at 3,300, so it looks like this 3,300 is trying to hold as support now, which is what we want to see. But if it can't hold that area, it will drop back down to the 50-day and old resistance here at 3,200. Both of those are sitting there. That'd be pretty strong support. We'll see if it keeps holding in the channel or if it starts holding above the channel. Then the big move could come on Ethereum. Cardano just chugging away, got all the way up to 296. I do believe we are going to test $3 today. And it is a possibility that we break $3 today. Cardano's been pretty bullish, hitting these all new highs. You can see the selling pressure under $3 right there with those two upper wicks. But if big enough buying volume comes in, we could easily see this over 3 today or tomorrow. Looking pretty good on Cardano. Today's top gainer, Mask. And this one I did not get into as much as I talked about it. And I thought about it as I had pulled back down close to this trend line, but just getting a nice explosion all the way up to 1050. New highs on this chart. So if you did get some of Mask, great job. Looks like at the moment it's still trying to push some. Maybe getting held up at 950, but if it hold 950 as support, it could retest 10 and break over 10. But up 35% today. Very nice run. AMP I haven't mentioned in a while, but it is testing that downtrend again. Been waiting to see some action start to come back into it. Just needs to break over this 075 area. It was resistance and congestion through here, and then the tops of these candles are right there at that area, and then right there as support after that drop. So strong area of resistance at 0.7.5. But if AMP can break that and start getting good buying volume back into it, we can see it start pushing again. I mean, it is bullish on this chart. So Atom's still continuing to pull back. Do have a little downtrend that's formed here. Need to see that downtrend break. Does look like this is a possible triangle here. If that's the case and Atom comes back above 22 and breaks out of this triangle, we could see it push up to that top resistance at 25 and maybe even push over 25 with this consolidation. If not, and it drops out the bottom of the triangle, it would come back down to either 2050 right across the top of that candle could be support as it was resistance, or it'll come to the 50-day at $20. More than likely, I'd say if it doesn't hold here, it'll drop to 20 and then we could see a bounce. Dogecoin still riding right down this downtrend. Does look like it's coming to a little squeeze here between the 50 and the downtrend. It's going to have to break 33 cents if it's going to come back up and test. If it can't hold up here and it starts cracking the 50-day moving average, it does have a ways to drop to 28.5 or even 26.7 at the 200-day moving average. So if it's going to continue this bullish momentum, need to see a breakout over 33. Polkadot got up there last night, 29.50, currently coming down in a little downtrend like Atom, but very close to pushing back up to 30. If Bitcoin can break back above 50, I would say we'll see Polkadot go on and break above 30, and it may not even matter if Bitcoin breaks or not, as long as Bitcoin doesn't drop too hard. Polkadot looking pretty good. Filecoin, this one is still climbing. This was a previous swing, but currently testing $80. Break of $80, it's got room up to 85 and 90. And then if it can get through all this past congestion of resistance at 85 and 90, we could see Filecoin back up to 100. This is a very low supply coin, and it is keeping its buying momentum continuing to push up. Luna looking real good, just staying right around the 10-day moving average. Just slowly moving up, made this triangle, but kind of outside of it right now. It's just looking for a retest of 30. We see Luna re-break 30. That's going to continue to run. MATIC has been able to hold 160 as support for a little while now. If this 160 holds up here, we'll probably see MATIC back up to 170 test of the night, maybe even break out to 180. If it doesn't hold this 160, it'll just come back down to 150. 50-day moving average is there. Top of these candles were resistance. And 150 is a natural psychological support and resistance line, so plenty of support and resistance at 150. I wouldn't expect it to drop below there. MIR, I'm still holding this swing, but just barely. It's come down and been testing this 415, 410 area. Holding up so far. It was previous resistance back through here. Now that's been tested as support. It looks like a possible triangle break, but it needs to break back over 425 tonight. Worst case tomorrow. Any lower, if it drops below 410, then I'm probably going to be getting out, because after that it could drop down to 383, and I'm not willing to hold this down to 383. My RLC swing is still working very nicely. RLC pushing all the way up to 550 in this new channel here. I'm going to be looking for this channel to break, because if it can break that 550, then we can move up to 6, and then after 6 we got pretty much open skies. So still holding. I may take a little bit off at this 550 area if it doesn't look like it's going to hold, but we're looking pretty good there. So Solana has cracked out of this sloping channel, so we can go ahead and take that off. It seems to be trying to find support at about this 72 area. It is below the 10-day moving average currently. If it can't hold the 72 area, it'll come back down to the 50-day at 68. But if it can hold 72, we could see Solana start to push back up. At $80 resistance is acting as very, very strong resistance, as every time it's come up to it, it's gotten slammed back down. Now if it pushes up again to 80 and doesn't break this a third time, then this would be a head and shoulders, and we'll see a sell-off probably from this. So I'd say by tomorrow we'll know which direction Solana is going to start heading in, but it does look like it's trying to hold here. StormX still climbing, pushed all the way up to 0.36, having a little pullback down to 0.32, but you can see just the overall momentum that StormX has had since the sell-off happened. It has been picking up, and it's not slowed down a bit. So STORJ in this new channel here, holding up so far. Did dip below it a little bit, but moved back in it. It's trying to get up there and test that 150, getting held up at 140. It may come back down a little bit more to this 50 before it tries to curl up again. But this is one you could keep on watch, because if it breaks 150, it could start making another leg up. Tribe all of a sudden popping here. This thing in the last 8 hours went from 65 and shot all the way up to 84 cents. And it's pulled right back to 71 cents. So this is getting some kind of crazy volume on it right now. Very volatile coin when it does have volume. So this could be one to keep an eye on. Oh, I'm sorry. I said, yeah, 70 cents, not 7 cents. 10-day did just cross over the 50, so it is bullish. I'm going to have to look into this one closer. Uniswap has been struggling with this $30 area. Still not able to break. Currently holding up to 50-day as support. If I can continue to hold, we may see another test of 30. But Uniswap's got to break 30 here soon if it's going to do it. It's really struggling. It could easily come back down to the 25 area at this point if it doesn't break, I'd say within the next day or two. Right now we're basically in a waiting game again with Bitcoin and Ethereum like we were at the previous resistance levels. These resistance levels I've been saying I think are going to hold up pretty strong. Ethereum I thought was going to get to at least 3,500, but it's really sticking around that 3,300 area. So once it comes to 35, it's going to have another strong test. Bitcoin, on the other hand, if it can break 50,000, there's no reason why we couldn't see it back up to 60, 65,000. But it's not going to break in a day, as I've been saying, and as it showed. So we just got to be cautious on all our positions, because if we do get a big rejection at 50,000, that could cause a sudden drop across all the altcoins too. But that's not what we want to see. We want to see Bitcoin and Ethereum keep testing these resistance areas and see some altcoins breaking out in the meantime. If we start to not see any altcoins breaking out and Bitcoin and Ethereum are really struggling to hold support areas, then that's probably going to be a good indicator we're going to have a correction, and this run might have to consolidate for a couple of weeks again before we see another test of 50K. I'm not bearish on the crypto market. I don't foresee that happening. I think we'll give this 50K a test a couple more times and probably even break here soon, but we know how quick the crypto market can change. So if there's any coins I'm not currently covering on a weekly basis that you would like me to cover, throw them down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts whether or not Bitcoin is going to break 50,000 here on this run. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time.